Hello and welcome to Cash in the Celebrity Attic, the show that searches for hidden treasures in the homes of the well-known and then sells them at auction, hopefully raising lots of money for charity. Today I'm on my way to meet a well-known chef. He trained with the Roux brothers and Marco Pierre White. He has 3 restaurants in his home county of Kent and he's appeared on many TV cookery shows. Have you guessed who it is yet? Today I'm in the Garden of England and I'm on my way to meet chef extraordinaire Richard Phillips. This father of 2 is not only a kitchen maestro but also a man of Kent, originally from Rainham near Rochester. After training in London and coming 3rd in the National Young Chef of the Year competition, Richard is now most famous to viewers from shows like Ready Steady Cook and Step Up to the Plate. Well known in his county of birth as a restaurateur, he now lives just a few miles from where he was brought up with wife Claire and their 18-month-old twins. He knows all the ingredients that make the perfect meal, so let's hope he can serve up a few treasures that we can then take to auction. And coming up, Richard shows us wine of a great vintage.
We generally have to buy a case.
I'm going to carry on the rummage and try and find the other 11 bottles now. I can't wait. And if I find them, I can drink them.
Absolutely.
I can't quite understand why Claire wants rid of this designer hat.
Well, yeah, it's not me.
Well, actually, I take that back. Maybe I can.
It looks more like a sort of shower cap, doesn't it, really?
Absolutely, yeah. Somewhere to put the sandwiches, perhaps.
What a good idea. At auction, Richard seems to be buzzing with positive vibes. It doesn't help that you sort of stare at the auctioneer, you know, sort of willing him on.
I'm trying to give him my mental thought.
I think you are. And when the final hammer falls, will his force be with us?
Thank you very much indeed.
Jonty Hearnden's our antiques expert, and I'm counting on him to find the very best. While he gets our search underway in Richard and Claire's lovely home, I go meet the family. Morning, Chef.
Morning.
How are you? Yeah, I'm good,
well,
thanks.
thank you.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Morning to you as well. How are you?
I'm good.
So, who have we got here?
This is Isaac.
Hi,
This is
Isaac.
Amelia.
Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
Hi, Amelia. Going to shake hands?
Hello.
She's not sure of me.
Excited.
No.
You're not sure?
She's a good judge of character.
Yeah, she is, obviously. Yeah, thanks for that. She's thinking, who's this Welshman? Why is he coming to my house?
I'm ready for this.
Talking of houses, this is a lovely place.
Well, thank you, thank you. Yes, very old, circa 1550. Been here a couple of years, and we sort of moved here just before the birth of these 2.
How come Kent?
Well, I'm born and bred in Kent. Done sort of 15 years working in London, but I wanted to come back and put my first restaurant into Kent, and now I have 3 restaurants in Kent. We sort of parked ourselves right in the middle of them all, really, so I can be at them in sort of between half an hour and 40 minutes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, why have you called us in then?
Well, obviously because you're a lovely guy.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
But no, we've got a few interesting items we feel, and I want to donate to children with leukaemia. It's a charity very close to my heart. I lost a brother through leukaemia many years ago. So it's a wonderful charity, and everything I can, I try to do for them.
I'm going to split you from your son now. We're going to go downstairs and look for Jonty. We'll catch up with you later. Is that all right?
See you tomorrow.
Bye, gorgeous.
See you, my man.
Ah, I've won her out. Look, she's smiling now. You're so fickle.
You'd be good for mummy.
Richard wants to raise £500 for his chosen charity, so let's hope this delightful cottage holds enough treasures to help him reach it. As I get started, it comes as no surprise that a top chef has plenty of quality kitchenware about the place. For instance, this beautiful set of silver-plated dessert cutlery. It's from the Cavendish collection by Butler of Sheffield, priced at £20 to £40. I'm sure a hungry bidder will gobble this up. Jonty's first find also reflects our chef's career. I'd better send Richard in to tell him some more.
Hi, Jonty.
Oh,
how you getting on?
Oh, great. I found a nice little cookbook. I thought I'd notch you something up for lunch.
Really?
So I thought I'd have a look through the book.
Are you a bit of a chef?
Absolutely not.
Oh, right, okay.
I say that in complete
The cookbook might be good for you then.
Now, you had some association with the Savoys,
I did, yeah. It was my first job, or my first full-time job after leaving college. I was very lucky enough to get in with into the Savoy under the wing of Anton Edelman. I was a second commie. It was like the lowest of the low. And spent a year there, sort of working very hard, long hours, low pay as it was back then. Yeah. And when I left, he gave me this book. So it's a bit of a prized possession, really, because first job, he gave me it. He signed it to Richard. With all the best wishes and happy cooking, Anton Edelman, December 1990. So,
oh, wonderful.
So yeah, so it's one of those things that you've, I guess, little reward for a year's worth of blood, sweat and tears, but certainly one of those well worth it, worth it, sort of foundation in the career, really.
Absolutely, it must be a real privilege to work in an environment like that, because the Savoy is one of the grandest hotels in London, isn't it?
In the world.
Absolutely.
It's got such a worldwide reputation, and every morning, sort of walking down there, very tired, you'd see it, and it sort of makes you sort of put a little glint in your eye. I think, yeah, I know why I'm here. I know why I'm working hard, really. And I learned an awful lot as well, which is the main thing.
Now, as we've got the page open here, in fact, this is Richard Cart. Now, he was responsible for building Savoy in 1889.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And it was all because he earned so much money from his operatics, the Gilbert and Sullivan operas that were very popular in the 19th century. So for all the money that was generated from that, helped build this incredibly grand hotel. So what do we got here?
Well, this is decanter, Savoy decanter, which I was given as a gift. It was the Christmas I was there. I was given this by the general manager. So I thought it might go quite well with it.
It certainly would. So this is a prized possession. Are you happy to let this go in the auction sale?
Yeah, you're always sorry to see something like this go because it's sort of part of my history, but and sort of my career. But no, it's a great cause, and if it can raise anything, I think it's more sentimental than anything. Yes. But if it can raise some money, absolutely fantastic.
Now, if we look at the glass decanter particularly, I mean, it's a modern decanter, would have no real value at the auction, but simply because we've got Savoy on the outside, it just makes it that little bit more special. Right. And because we've got the signature here in the book, that makes all the difference as well.
Great. Worth much?
Not a vast amount, but £30 to £50 possibly, something like that. I mean, that's quite a lot of money for a second-hand book and a second-hand decanter, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So why not?
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Yes, putting the Savoy cookbook and decanter together sounds like a good marketing plan to me. As we split up and continue rummaging through the nooks and crannies of the cottage, Richard comes across this silver-plated condiment set. Given to his parents as a wedding present, it's been in the family for more than 40 years. Jonty thinks it will sell for about £20 to £30. Claire's also busy hunting for something she picked up a few years ago, but hated it so much she banished it to the garage.
What have we got?
Well, we've got... This actually is a bit of a purchase disaster. I was on the internet looking for hat boxes, actually, and this came up, and I thought, brilliant. It said Christian Dior hat, vintage.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Looks
so
more
I
like
thought,
looks more like a cake.
Yes. And I was really excited, and when it came, and well, yeah, it's not me, really. Let's just say.
Let's be honest.
No, absolutely.
What you're trying to say is that you don't like it. Is that right?
I don't like it. It was a bit of a disaster, but I'm sure someone will give it a good home. Cool. So yes, I would be glad to give this.
You'd be happy to let this one go.
And yeah, add to the charity.
Well, looking at the style, it has that 1960s sort of almost pillbox or extended pillbox look to it. Let's see it on.
I can't really, no.
All right, yeah, it looks more like a sort of shower cap, doesn't it, really?
Absolutely, yeah. Somewhere to put the sandwiches, perhaps, but yeah, no.
I'll take that off quite quickly.
But I'm sure someone will give it a lovely home.
Well, let's have a look at it. It's wonderful to see that such big label there, because wonderful Christian Dior. You can't get a better label than that, really. Christian Dior has to be one of the 20th century's leading fashion designers.
Right.
Has to be one of the biggest names. And so that's very nice. And there's a big market for vintage fashion like this. And I'm sure somebody could really use this and sell it on. Because if you look at the detailing here, if you look at the work that's gone into this, it's really quite extraordinary still.
Absolutely.
Now, Christian Dior, an interesting man himself, he was born in 1905. Right. He first of all opened an art gallery. That had to close because there was a family disaster. He produced a look called the New Look, and really was completely revolutionised and changed the way people looked at fashion.
Fantastic.
Because you imagine during the war years, all those austerity years, where the cut was very, very tight.
Yes.
All of a sudden it became much looser, and everyone loved what he did. Really big, iconic name. Now, how much did you pay for it?
I think it's about $35 US.
So that's about £25-ish, something like that?
Yeah, something around there.
I think you've done very well. You've done very well indeed, because at auction, with the right buyers there, we should be looking hopefully in excess of 50 quid.
Wow.
So hopefully good. 50 to 80 pounds at auction.
Fingers crossed.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
Yes, so you double your money on a mistake.
Yes.
I like the sound of it.
It was a good mistake.
Right, back in the box. I'll leave that there and we'll carry on searching.
Okay.
Well, now then, going by Jonty's lower estimates so far, we stand to raise £120 when we take everything we've found so far to auction. I'd say we're doing quite well.
I think we're doing very well so
raising
far.
money front.
Yeah.
You've got a lovely family, lovely house, and I know that the charity that you've chosen has a family connection, doesn't it?
I lost a brother when he was very young. He was about a year old through leukaemia. And literally from then on, my parents have done an awful lot of charity raising. So throughout my life, really, it's been one of those things. As a family, we've done sponsored walks. We've literally years ago used to go around door to door with the pots and try and collect. And so we've done an awful lot for the charity across the years. And then sort of as I've got older and I've been able to sort of help that, I've raised money through my London marathons. I've done 2 years back-to-back London marathons. Raised a lot of money for them as well. So it's one of those charities that means a lot to us.
So what was your time in the London Marathon?
My first run, 3:59 and 56 seconds, right. And my target was a sub-4. So by 4 seconds, I did it.
Brilliant, fantastic. What about the second time?
About 4:30, but it was a very hot day. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
I'd probably guess that your parents are really, really proud that you're doing this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Hence the reason why my mother's given her, a few bits and bobs as well, which hopefully she thinks it might raise some money. But yeah, extremely proud that I'm doing this and sort of raising as much as we can. So
have you ever been to an auction before?
No. So I don't really know what to expect.
I'm sure you'll do fine. As I say, we found some fantastic items so far, so I think we should carry on with the rummage, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.